We're gonna make some low sugar peach cobbler jam, and then I'm gonna also make some peach syrup from the scraps that are just gonna be the peels and the pits. So we're gonna make the two at one. This is my setup. So I just have the peaches in here. I have about 4 pounds, and I just put a little apple cider vinegar. You can use vinegar, just something so that you can kind of wash them off, let them soak for a little bit. First thing that you always want to do when you're blowing up off cannon is get your jars ready. Get the water. I usually just like to stick with it 2 inches above. Instantly put this on the fire. Keep it on high. By the time everything is packaged and ready, it probably still will not have boiled. That's just the way it goes for me. I just use the regular Presto 23 quart to water bath can as well. So I'm going to show you what's next. So the reason it's called peach cobbler jam is just because of the spices, the cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg. I actually don't have clove, and so I just use pumpkin pie spice, which has all of those things, and it just has ginger in it, so that can change the taste. So you can follow the recipe with those spices, or you can choose to not add any spices. It's really up to you. And so I'm just showing you, we're not going to do anything that's going to take a long time. I'm always doing things that are going to be quick. That's why I'm making both of these at the same time. So I'm just going to peel them with a knife. It doesn't matter if you cut up extra peach with it. That's just going to make the peach syrup taste better, because it's going to have just more of the flavors, more of the juice in it. So I'm just cutting off the peels, getting as close as I can around the core, making sure I get as much of the actual peaches. And then the rest I'm just throwing in the pot, and that's what's going to go in the syrup. And so it's easier if you have both pots there. You're not going to throw anything in the trash, and that's something that's really good too. So everything's going to be utilized. There's no waste, and you don't have to get extra peaches for this recipe. And I'm showing that you want to dice the peaches. You can mash the jam to make it how you want, but I like chunks of fruit. To me, it just makes jam taste fresher and make it actually taste like this fruit, because you know the ones that you get from the store, to me they taste more sugary than anything. They don't really taste like a strawberry, you know, or a grape. And so because you do it yourself, you can tailor it to what you like. And so that's all that I'm showing here. So the recipe called for 2 2/3 cup. Usually with, 2 cups will equal about a pound. So I had 4 pounds, and I was able to get 2 servings out of it, and I had a little bit extra. So part of the clips will be me going and getting the measuring cup. You should have your measuring cup out from the beginning to make it easier for you. Of course, when you're doing things fast and you are doing it multiple times, you're already used to it. Sometimes you just forget a step, and so that's what happened here. And I also had a little bit left, and we decided to eat those. So if you want to do this recipe, I like that you can have a really small batch. I had 2 batches and some extra from 4 pounds. So you're probably good at about 3 pounds to make this recipe twice. And for some reason, I never come out with the correct amount that they specify. It said I was supposed to get 6 half a pint jars, and I didn't even get 6 with the double recipe. Maybe it's because I make them chunkier. That's probably what it is. And you can use a potato masher to get it thinned out. And also the consistency does change when you use the low sugar, because you're adding, water to it and less sugar. It does make it set to be a little looser, but it still is very spreadable. You can use it just like you use any other jam. But if you want it more traditional, then you will need to make it with the regular recipe. And the book that I got it from is Ball Canning Basics. It is a really good book to have a lot of different recipes to start on if it's your first time. And they have lots of pictures and everything like that. So it just is really welcoming to a new canner. So The peaches were juicy. You want to make sure you have them ripe. You don't want them soft, but you want them ripe. And you want them to still be a little firm. And the reason why I'm using the pots that I'm using is because it says it needs a sorry about that. It needs a non-reactive pot. And so you can use a Dutch iron, I guess it's called. You can use stainless steel like I use. I'm not sure the other options, and so that's why I just go with what I have, which is the stainless steel. Now this is what my stove is looking like. You got the jars not doing anything even though they've been on high. You can see a little bit of steam. The peaches, I had enough to do 2 batches of a 2 2/3 cup. This is the scraps that we have. So next we're gonna add the lemon juice and everything. We're gonna get both of these cooking. So each batch of this called for 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna put 4 for 2 times 2. And then for this recipe, it was for 2 cups, but that was for 2 tablespoons for 10 cups. So I'll probably get about maybe 5 cups from this. So I'll put in 1 tablespoon. If I get more than that at the end, then I can add more. So let me show you guys what we're working with without trying to spill it. All I did was fill up enough water that it was even with the peaches. Okay, so then we have to use 3 tablespoons of pectin. It's a much better deal if you buy it like this instead of the actual packages. So, and this is low sugar pectin, so I'm going to be able to use less sugar. So for each batch, I would only use a cup of sugar, whereas I believe it was asking for 3 times that. And I like to use as little sugar as I can. That's just what I like to do. But if you don't mind it, or you can't find this, then just follow the recipe without making adjustments for low sugar. Okay, so that's 6. So we have the back pot boiling. We have the front pot just coming to a boil. All we did was put, of course, the lemon juice, the pectin. It's gonna boil. Then we put the sugar and the water. And then I'm gonna show you this pot still is doing nothing. I added the sugar, and I had to add water as well for the low sugar version. You can add water or fruit juice. Don't have any fruit juice, so I put the water. And we're letting it come up to a boil again. It's gonna come to a rolling boil. Still got that simmering. Have this one covered. So this, I believe, is going to take 10 minutes. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it in the next clip. But I'm going to be taking the jars out of here now, and I'm going to be getting them ready to put this in. This should be ready soon. However long it takes me to do the jam, it usually takes, I don't know, 25-ish, 30 minutes to put all the jam and stuff in the jars. Then I just strain this, add the sugar, and then we on the home stretch. So I'll show you guys that. As you can see, it still is pretty chunky. That's how I like it. It'll get a little less chunky when it boils. I told you guys that I would correct myself if I was wrong. I don't know why I wanted to make myself do more work. All I need to do is bring it to the rolling boil and let it boil hard So you need to boil hard 1 minute is what I was trying to say. For the sake of time, I already did all of the jars. So you just wipe it off, add the lid, put on the band finger tight. Now we have a big pot cheesecloth. We're just going to pour this in. I always seem to make a mess. Cloudy. mix her up. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to wait about 5 minutes. They actually say wait 30 minutes. I just don't.